We all have secrets, things about us that nobody can know. For many, they've become ditches of shame. For others, they've become our burning cauldrons of strength and conduct our lives. This is me at age 6. My secret? I stuttered. I could choose how I listened. I could choose how I prepared for school. I could even choose how I wanted others to feel in my presence. But in a moment that called for words, my body seized. I was literally locked. But I did not default. I wanted to achieve my potential, knowing who I truly was. In spite of teachers cringing when they called on me, the whole class flinching. But I never stopped choosing to show up as best I could. Like me, you have a choice. But are you making it? My hard road included a decade of speech techniques and trials, even months at the tender age of 11 at a rehabilitation hospital filled with elders recovering from strokes. It was traumatizing. Would I be this way forever? Closed off from relationships, careers? As my 6-year-old self became 16, 17, 18, my goal became to show up on a college campus as a student, not a stutterer. Maybe you have set goals for yourself like that after not achieving what you wanted. Was it not being truly ready, leading to insecurity? Did you chalk it up to circumstance? Or was it not being clear about your show-up choices? Eventually, my throat locking came on less suddenly. I learned to breathe through just a little bit, loosening the clenched muscles in my chest and the grimace on my face. And as you are hearing me now, after a childhood of shame and distress, I walked up Cornell's famous hills, looked fellow students in the eyes, and said, a mostly fluent, hello. Now, I may have overcome the worst of my stutter, but I never let go of a crucial idea, an idea that has propelled my success and become my life's work. How are we choosing to show up? It creates our outcomes across business, health, relationships, everything. Showing up has 3 basic parts: readiness, groundedness, and connectedness. Readiness is the preparing we do to achieve right now. Groundedness supports that. It's knowing who we truly are and why, so we can avoid the patterns of the past and respond to today. Connectedness unifies us. It's the compassion that drives us to help each other, because we are impacting each other at all times and bear that responsibility. So every moment truly matters. My choices to truly show up led me from Cornell to Wall Street to Silicon Valley, where I spent a decade as a leader at one of the big 4 global management consulting firms. The projects I led spanned 3 continents and answered for some of America's most storied high-tech companies how their teams show up. That experience, plus research for my last book, On Your Game, spans from 1999 through 2016, and it shows many of us are taking our show-up choices for granted. And that a majority of Americans, in fact up to 80% of us, lay in bed each night feeling we're underachieving our potential. For my current book, How We Choose to Show Up, I ask, how do you prepare for daily activities? What do you think people say? You guessed it. I check my look, the timing, the weather, and I head on out. I call it just showing up. Can you relate? You're not alone. A majority of my survey respondents tell me, I rarely feel truly ready. I need more time to plan. And a precious few of us, 1 in 4, ask ourselves questions like, how do I want people to feel in my presence? Now, that question's not way out there. Imagine if we ask a truly show-up question, something like, What level of trust and care am I choosing as I enter this meeting? Discussion with my boss, evening with my partner, daughter or son. You see, our behavior is contagious. People absorb how we show up and infuse it into others. It goes 3 levels deep through our friends, constructing our culture. We all feel it. The result? Let's look at work, home, and school. At work, well, Gallup polls have been telling us for years that the majority of Americans show up unengaged or actively disengaged. At home, a Harvard study from last year reminds us 1 in 3 of us is lonely, unless you're a young adult in America, in which case it's 63% of us. School, have you felt the stress coming off these kids? The majority of America's high school and college students report significant symptoms of anxiety and depression. So this is how America's showing up. Yet, with our packed schedules and stresses, it's just our default. And it's heartbreaking. Imagine if more of us show up just a little bit more ready, more grounded, and intending to connect with each other. So tonight, I am here to help you and the world truly show up. This is the Show Up Continuum. 3 levels. 1 is barely there. 2, just showing up. 3, truly showing up. You feel yourself move along this every day as your focus, energy, and mood wax and wane. This is the day you have been waiting for. You are playing in the Super Bowl. But you stayed up a bit late last night, so this morning you hit snooze. Snooze. Then you jump out of bed, you get to the field, you didn't warm up, you don't know the plays, and here you are, and what happened? The play failed? And your team members are looking at you? How could you have let them down? How does level 1 feel? Unready, ungrounded, disconnected? Have you ever had barely there moments in your life? Did you win that game? Let's now try on level 2, just showing up. You're at the field on time, you're warming up, you flip through the plays, but there's not much eye to eye, more going through the motions. And now you're on the field and, those after parties are going to be so sweet. You can picture the corks flying, you're feeling the champagne on your jersey, and where am I supposed to be? Those parties? Ugh. How does level 2 feel? Not quite ready, maybe a bit grounded, not quite connected, whole lot of distracted. Have you had just showing up moments in your life? Did you win that game? If the team won, it wasn't because of you. Let's now try on level 3, truly showing up. Your name is Tom Brady. It's months before the Super Bowl, but you've already been watching the videos, you're sensing the questions, discussing with the coaches, and you're working with your team. You say, come on, guys, let's go out to the field. We've got to get into our body the memory of trying this option instead of that, this play instead of that, so that in the moment we can call upon it. That's readiness. Then we hear you say what you're known to say. You say, I love you guys. We win and lose together. That's connectedness. You add to that your high-protein breakfast of eggs and avocados, electrolyte-infused water, great night of sleep, because you're grounded in how you achieve. How does level 3, truly showing up, feel? Did you win that game? Level 3 is what we all want. When we truly show up, we feel purposeful, effective, cared for, safe. As more of the world truly shows up, products and services will be designed not to serve power, status, or solace. They'll serve significance. And it starts before we even walk in, because our expectations will be creating truly show up moments. And it's urgent, because showing up, as you know, showing up is now, and now, and now. It's relentless and your legacy. Don't forget, you can never show up with choice to that moment because it's gone. Are you starting to feel the impact that level 3 truly showing up can have? Yeah. Now I'm going to make it easy for us to live it. It's known to create early wins, and it's a really great first step. So take out your hand and trace a 3 on your palm. Feel on your palm the 3 going in. It's your dependable reminder of your choice. And before you go into class or your next meeting, stop, trace your 3. Then ask, how am I choosing to show up? As you look across your calendar for next week, ask yourself, what is my 3 for that purpose, that person, that activity? Put reminders where you'll see them often, like a Post-it on your laptop, on your fridge, write it on your notebook, on your whiteboard. These are your dependable, loving reminders of your choice. The world is better at level 3. I'm going to pause for a minute, and I'm just going to talk to you human to human. We're all points in a universal show-up network, and we can all do so much more good when we do this together. So I really hope you accept my invitation tonight to add just a bit more choice to how well you're already showing up. I knew it when I was 6, struggling to speak. Now I can show up as I choose, and so can you. Choose resilience and results. Choose connectedness. Choose significance. Rexburg, let's choose level 3. Let's choose to truly show up.